Ronnie O'Sullivan, the big blind, and all over the table, eyes-wise.
Oh, this is John Reach's type of hand. This is a raising, calling hand. This is a calling.
You're not going to get him out of this flop with a shotgun, are you?
He's been very unfortunate, I think, really, in many ways, that he's been given suited cards so often, as if it's a curse, really, on him. And now is an interesting moment.
How many big pairs have we seen this early in the game? This time it's Robbie Paul with the big pair of aces.
How big's the raise going to be?
8 more.
8 more.
Yeah.
Total of
That's
12,000.
10 total. You got to put in
And
Ronnie's
Well,
got
8,
nothing really worth jumping up and down in the air for at all. But he's having to think about it. Can't really be putting money into this. I mean, I suppose he's got a bit to play with and could come to his favour, but really he should be throwing these away.
you're not a fan of the suited cards, the connectors. They call them ace crackers, but when the pot gets big, you'd rather have the aces, wouldn't you?
I don't think John's going to get away from these.
Cool.
Oh, it's a three-way pot, and Robbie Paul's happy as a lark here. Pocket aces, 36,000 in there. Here's the flop. There are a couple of worrying possibilities out there.
Well, that's a marvellous flop for Robbie. Whether he knows it or not, you can't really be sure. But he's got to test the water with a bet.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has flopped 2 pair here. It'll be interesting to see if he can get out of it, this pot, without putting any more money in.
Nice size bet. You'll know full well if there's another queen out there with that one. Ronnie doesn't really want to be putting any more money in, but that's the problem with calling with those 2 pieces of garbage in the first place. And that is, well, that could be the bet that throws him off it. Oh, and he's got him. Has he got
Ronnie
him?
had a look at Robbie Paul's stack, said he could well afford to put the pressure on.
Oh, he doesn't like, this is
How much
marvellous.
time do we have? 90 seconds, eh?
Well, this is the beauty of poker, isn't it? Putting someone to the test. And
Got my mind. I hope you
He's thrown him away.
he is.
He's
He
thrown
did
him
think-
away.
He has
Oh,
bluffed.
sorry. No, he hasn't.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, what a great... I mean, Steve, did he know what he was doing?
Well, whether he did or whether he didn't is another matter. He's represented the Queen.
Robbie Paul gave Ronnie O'Sullivan the rope, and Ronnie hung him from a high tree.
I'm Robbie Paul. I'm a part-time poet and artist and full-time rugby league player. My game plan for this evening is to sweet talk the ladies so they don't pick on me. So to all you poker players out there, don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. There's a new boy in town.
Celebrities playing very well on this PartyPoker.com European Open table. Action to spare, and plenty more laughs and cards.
No one to play with? There's always PartyPoker.com.
Welcome back to the PartyPoker.com European Open. I'm Jesse May, joined by Steve Davis.
He's down to half his chip stack, is Robbie Paul, and the blinds have gone up from the start, so effectively he's got a quarter of his chip stack left from the starting position he found himself in.
Yeah, do you think he's going to start panicking? And is it time for Robbie Paul to start moving? Is the question.
Oh.
Fiona Foster, 4,000 under the gun.
Well, roughly they say something along the lines, if you've got what, 6, 7, 8 times the big blind, you should be starting about looking at going all in. So he's not at that stage yet, but
Or 4-way this flop. We've had 3-way, excuse me, we've had quite a few 3-way pots. Everyone in except for Leilani and Robbie Paul. And here is the 3.
another bunch of interesting hands out there.
Check.
Fiona simply coming out betting. We've noticed that's the case for Fiona. No point in messing about there, and that should be the end of this pot.
So Fiona Foster did what she has to do. She lost that big pot to Ronnie O'Sullivan, but chip-wise, she's still in a fine fettle. up on about 160 something thousand, which is well above average. Par right now would be about 120,000.
Yes, John Regis slowly dribbling away. Unfortunately, he hasn't really seen a lot of good cards. Has tried to get some action, nothing's happened. Robbie Paul has turned down some big events and paid the price. Ronnie O'Sullivan there, the best back frequency, Jesse.
Yeah, he's playing a lot of hands, isn't he? But there are a lot of unraised pots here, so cheap flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we asked for some teas last time.
We're still waiting for them.
You just get them sort of started.
Order the pizza now.
It's Ronnie O'Sullivan ordering a round of teas. That's from the old snooker hall days.
Of the fridge.
To you, Robbie.
Look at that.
Robbie slowed down somewhat. He can't really afford to make too many moves now. Ronnie O'Sullivan with the gay waiter.
Green with a tray. And it's Lalani on the button here.
Just calling. Should really raise on the button. Should really have raised on the button with an ace.
She's
You
given
think?
John. Well, she's given John Regis a chance to get in very
yeah.
cheaply, hasn't she?
Once again, John's got suited, although dominated by Fiona's.
Want a free look?
3 hearts come out now. Goodbye, John.
I think you come across on TV
You're
so
a
nice.
hard woman.
I mean, Steve, you talk about the advantage of raising before the flop. If Lalani had raised on the button, she probably gets Fiona to fold the ace-7. As it is, Fiona has raised from the big blind, and Lalani looks every bit like she's going to get off this ace-8, which is the better hand.
Will she get rid of John Regis? He does like 2 suited cut. He does like them.
I'm going to guess no.
Go on, go on. You're landing three hearts, and let's have a look at your face. Thinking you've got a good hand. It's not too bad. Well, he's okay. He could have put the bet in, I suppose, and hoped to hit a queen or a 9. And Fiona showing strength here, and quite rightly. I think the way things have gone today, second chip position, it's about right.
Just keep taking my money off me.
Yeah, Fiona Foster making quite a clever bet there. I mean, winning that pot without having to see the flop and with the worst hand, it just shows the power of raw aggression, doesn't it?
But it's interesting, isn't it? As you say, if Lalani had have raised, it would obviously have meant some type of strength. That the ace-7's no good, but obviously she doesn't think there's another ace out there, Fiona, because nobody's raised. My ace-7 must be miles ahead.
Money.
To me, yeah.
Yeah.
So 4,000 is the big blind, and Lalani is this tournament passing her by.
Well, it's
We'll
another
call.
just calling, not enough aggression really. Oh, he keeps on getting them. It's quite a nice hand. Could be a raising hand. Person before you is not showing any strength. He's going to raise, and he's giving away. He's got a great hand.
You know, both the times we've seen John Regis play on television before, it was very similar. He let himself dribble down to about half his chips, and then he started getting aggressive. That's what's happening now. And
Robbie can't do a thing.
no. The raise here is a total of 8,000, I think.
Call.
And Lalani calling with the best hand. What the flop will tell.
Well, she threw away a hand like that after being raised, but not from John Regis. Well, that's nothing for nobody.
Check.
4 diamonds, though. John's trying to count them up.
Scanning the
He's
diamonds.
going to love this.
Got to bet. Just got to bet.
Check.
Check.
Don't bet then. No point in betting. What's the point? You might win chips.
Ace of diamonds would be the key card.
Money.
But yeah, you're right.
Check.
I mean, Ace High leading right now. And
You can't check this down and let Ace High win this.
I mean, there's 22,000 out there.
Lalani.
Well, he should have won the chips, I feel, here, and he's certainly lost them now.
6,000.
I mean, that 22,000, Steve, would have looked really nice in John Regis's stack. It would have been up near par. As it is, he's given the pot away, and that's just an example of how things can go. You know how you can do the
Well, it's a lesson that really, if when it gets to the television